I was literally getting dressed to leave. I got errands to do. I'm Ken Knapsack from ForceCenter. This is a Vertical Live breaking news edition. Um, Jennifer Landa and Joseph Scrimshaw could not be here because they have more important things to do than talk about. I'm kidding. There's nothing more important than Rotta the Hutt. Will McLean is here first in chat saying incredibly funny voice casting. I love it. The reason I'm kind of excited to go live and talk about the news that Variety reported that Jeremy Allen White, he of the bear, he of those biceps and those shoulders, has joined the Star Wars film The Mandalorian and Grogu as Jabba the Hutt's son. Now, we know they filmed it, at least in terms of production, the principal photography. This happens a lot. Voiceover. I doubt it's performance capture. If it is performance capture, I absolutely want the footage of Jeremy Allen White pulling a Benedict Cumberbatch in the Hobbit films. Doing Rotta the Hutt. Gwen's here. Eli from Star Wars and Galaxy. A lot of people checking in. Gwen said, I manifested this. Yes. I actually think I manifested this news today. Number one, it's a Monday, which means when ForceCenter is done recording and we get our news all loaded, which it is. My news episode with Jennifer is loaded up, set for tomorrow. We had a great Star Wars Ranked that's coming out Friday with Molly Damon, looking at the prequel outfits. I was having lunch. Alden Diaz of Octo Radio and Anytime with Ken and Alden. And birthday boy, happy birthday, Alden Diaz. Alden texts me, look what they did. Look what they've done. Jeremy Allen White, who I have never seen The Bear. I know. It's the greatest show in the world. And everyone's like, Ken, you love to eat. You love to watch The Bear. But I do love Rotta the Hutt. I am a Rotta the Hutt fan. A Rotta the Huttlet. That stinky muffin, that the son of Jabba. And what we said this morning on the Vertical Live. So we went, every Monday about 9 Pacific, 9:15 Pacific, I go live. Actually, that's a lie. Today I was live at 9:30, so 9 would be a lie. At 9:30 today we went live, and there was someone in the chat. I didn't ask it. I didn't know. Someone asked about Rotta, and I said, I'd love to have some more Rotta storytelling. I didn't necessarily say the Mandalorian and Grogu, but I think that there's a story out there because he's Jabba the Hutt's son. Noah says, I think the scoop is from Jeff Snyder before Variety. I don't care about Jeff. Variety's the source. So I absolutely love the idea of Rotta the Hutt having storytelling, more storytelling, because he's the son of Jabba. And I think Rotta has probably, he's probably either fond of the Jedi or he's really just pissed off at things that have gone on. I think he's probably pretty upset that his dad was taken out. And then he might be upset, too, that the Jedi, maybe he believed the hype that they were bad for the galaxy. Maybe he's got a bone to pick with the Jedi. But this is Mandalorian and Grogu. So Rotta has a story to tell. And the fact, and I said this morning, I said this morning that Dave Filoni would be the guy, even though Jon Favreau, Mandalorian Grogu, directing it, writing it, Filoni would be the guy to be like, hey, there's a dangling participle of a story out there, and it's Rotta the Huttlet, son of Jabba, who might have a bone to pick. Who might have a bone to pick with the fact that Bib Fortuna slid into the throne so easily, that now Boba Fett is sitting on the throne, bringing peace to Mos Espa. I think Rotta would have something to say about that. Then you got the twins out there. Svetnik was there. Did you ask the question, was Svetnik? Brett Bum standing by. Rotta the Hutt is the key to everything. Yeah, I absolutely think there. Oh yeah, and Gaz Nottingham points out, yeah, there was a minor subplot in Star Wars Aftermath interludes where there's a baby hut in Freetown. That is actually, yeah, that was where like Cobb Vanth was involved in that. Um, Cobb Vanth was involved with that, and so yeah, I think I don't know the age matches up if that's Rada, but Rada returns. Dawn on the fifth day. Look to Mos Espa. Here comes Rada. I don't think now. I don't think Rotta the Hutt's going to have a supersized um, story in this film. I think maybe who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Glenn points out, yeah, Dan and Dave are writing it, so it really tracks for their relationship too. It really tracks for their relationship. John has always had a little bit more of the upper hand in their relationship. Dave has risen in the ranks, but it's ranks that John didn't want to compete in, so they work together well. And I'm sure John had carte blanche to do kind of what he wanted to do with this movie, season four. But you know, I always go back to Chicago 2019 to Favreau sitting on stage going, I don't really love the prequels. Dave's working on me, hardy har har. And, you know, 3 seasons later, I think the Mandalorian show has done a lot to move the love of the prequels forward, as it should. So I think this is a perfect culmination of the journey where Jon Favreau is going to help bring Star Wars back to the movie theaters 5 years. God, more than 5 years. Isn't that crazy? More than 5 years after it was last in there. And that Dave will be the little prequel angel in his corner going, hey, Rotta the Hutt. Let's try it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. Chase says Dave Ryder means Rotta is the main baddie. Possibly. Rotta is risen, says Kyle Harlow. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Michael Glover has no idea who Rotta is, but ForceCenter Live and all for it. Hey, there you go. Oh yeah, Gwen, you know, you're absolutely right. Emotional reunion between Ahsoka and Stinky. I'm all for that. I am all for that. Now I know Ahsoka is in other places right now, so I don't know how that could work out, but I don't care. Use the world between worlds. Use all of the Star Wars magic that Dave wants to. Dave wants to. Maybe okay. Maybe Gwen. Maybe the reunion isn't in the movie. In this movie, maybe the reunion isn't even in Ahsoka season 2. Maybe it's the New Republic Thrawn movie. Maybe Ahsoka has to go to Rada after some stuff goes wrong in this film, and then Rada and Ahsoka have to have almost a Padme Boss Nass end of Phantom Menace kind of thing. Michael Glover says, "Oh, Stinky." Noah's been a ride or die fan of Stinky since '08. Noah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I did not love the Clone Wars movie, and I didn't even see it in theaters. I just didn't love its existence even. And the Clone Wars becomes absolutely one of my favorite things in Star Wars, great animated series, yada yada yada. But absolutely came around on Rada. I absolutely and by the way, the Clone Wars movie is Joseph and I did a deep dive on it a few years ago. Check out the Clone Wars report, and it's absolutely one of my favorite Star Wars stories to discuss. I think there's parts of it that don't work for me. Will we have a Truman Capote like voice? Is Jeremy Allen White doing a kind of comical, maybe problematic voice for Rada as Rada grows up and becomes maybe more like his uncle than his father? I don't know. One thing, and I will credit, I was chatting with birthday boy Alden Diaz. The fact that you cast Jeremy Allen White and you cast him as Rada does mean that unless it's like some George Clooney cameo in South Park, Rada's going to be speaking basic. And Alden was texting this to me, and I agree. Rada is going to be speaking basic. So open up the Hutt voices. Let's get a little Truman Capote in there. Like I said, I haven't watched The Bear. I do love sandwiches, but Jeremy Allen Wyatt, I call him Wyatt Russell. Jeremy Allen White. He's an actor of range, actor of importance. Have him do a Truman Capote Rada voice. All right, so in the time that ever many, this is just an update video. Breaking news. Tomorrow on the Star Wars news show, we'll have a look at Ahsoka season 2 moving to London. What Jen and I like about that, there's actually a lot we like about that news, but there's some realities of the business we don't like. And then we'll talk about James Mangold with a little tiny update and possibilities of Skeleton Crew season 2. So we won't have this story in it, but this story, and Yorath Davies joining here says, "Ooh, never seen ForceCenter live before. Incredible news." Yeah, welcome. Every once in a while we go live. Subscribe, hit the notification bell here on YouTube so you get the vertical lives, and then we'll have our news tomorrow. And we'll be going live more. We'll be going live more even on the other shows too. We really love interacting with y'all. Troy here, Troy the Malo line says, I actually like the Clone Wars movie, dig the animation, and I can never get enough of clones going all out. That's one of the things I love about the Clone Wars movie. I do think, like I said, some of the things that I might say aren't my favorite or don't work for me happen like later in the film. But even then, there's stuff I absolutely, when Joseph and I did the breakdown and the thematic breakdown of it, I was there for it. But that opening, the Christophsis battle, the arrival of Ahsoka, all that stuff, but the walkers going up the side of the mountains and everything. I remember seeing a clip of that, and I think they were talking to Dave Filoni before I really knew who Dave Filoni was, which is funny because my roommates in the early 2000s knew who Dave Filoni was because he worked down the hall at Last Airbender, and my friends were up at SpongeBob and other shows like that. My friends worked on Vader Zim and SpongeBob and all the shows during that era. Another one of my friends, Jen Miro, knew Dave in like 2000, 2001 too. So I didn't know who Dave Filoni was. But the Clone Wars movie, there was clips of some dude. I remember some dude talking about the walkers going up the hill. I think going up the temple, the side. I do think that was Dave. So, anyways, he's here. Drums and the music. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Kiner's music. Spooky Mulder says, imagine Rada as the let-down son who has an addiction to spice and is holed up in some Coruscant basement at a conspiracy podcast about the Empire returning. That's the winner. Okay. All right, Spooky Mulder, that is the winning comment of the day. Yeah, I think that's exactly. I'm trying to position. Excuse me, I'm tapping my mic. I'm trying to position Rada as this, son of Jabba trying to return to power, but maybe in a good way. You know, he doesn't want to be as evil as his father was. But I like that. No, he's in. I like that Rada. We talk about the left needing a Joe Rogan. I think Star Wars needs its version of Rogan, but not the good version, and it's Rada in a basement in Coruscant, broadcasting some theories about the Empire still being out there. But because there's enough truth to them, people start taking his conspiracies to heart. And Rada's leading the youth of Coruscant down the wrong path. We work it out. Will Dixon says, Ken, you get a cookie for the rando Rada name drop this morning. It wasn't, I mean, I want to give, I don't, Osvetnik, did you ask it? Who asked the question? Someone this morning asked the question about Rada. I want to give them. Perrin is a devout Rada listener. The Joe Rada experience. Osvetnik did. Someone asked the question. But we had so much fun talking to it because I legitimately love the idea of Rada coming back. I have for a while. I'm quite frankly surprised that it wasn't dealt with. Not even like, I wouldn't expect the Book of Boba Fett to deal with it. And it makes sense that Bib Fortuna would slide back in there. That little weasel would get out and take the throne. And they have the twins. Like, I gotta be like going back to the Book of Boba Fett, that episode, I love that episode when the twins show up. Black Chrysanthemum's there, all that. I love that episode. And when the twins came around the corner, I thought it was Rada. I was like, oh, Rada and wife or something like that. But no, it's twins, something different. So it means there's a possibility. We got cinematic Rada coming our way. All right. JV says, if he wants the power back, would it put him on a collision course with Boba Fett or Fett? Yeah. This, I'll tell you what, this raises the odds of Boba Fett being in this film. I know we don't really have a lot of information on this movie yet, and I like that it, Sigourney Weaver's the only other major casting we know, and I don't pay attention to a lot of the scoops and everything. I wait for it to be official with a trade, either StarWars.com or a trade like Variety getting it out there, Yeah, that it also yeah. Boba Fett. I think we could see him in this film. Gwen says episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett was peak Star Wars. 100% agree, Gwen. You and I in lock sync simpatico on that episode being one of my favorites in Star Wars. Svetnik says I wouldn't have expected anything to deal with it. I expected Rod to be something fans joke about in the corners, not the big screen. Yeah, I think that's the victory today. I think that's the big victory today. All of us Star Wars devotees who have spent the last few years and decades, let's be honest, celebrating the little weird things in the corner. Could General Loathsome be that far behind? I don't know. I used to be, I used to campaign against Meber Gascon. Did not like Meber Gascon. And then not only did I come around on it, I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed for not liking Meber Gascon. It's George Lucas's favorite Clone Wars arc, Sunny Day in the Void, and Meber is great. So Meber as well. Here's one of the things I sometimes have issues with the man in the cowboy hat, but I think what I do appreciate about Dave is he's such a Star Wars nerd that he knows that the leaving of the leaving off of Rada from a character sheet for a very long time would be disappointing. It'd suck. Imagine going Star Wars finishes up in 30 years and they're like, well, that's it. It's done. No more Rada. No more Rada. We got to get Rada. This Plo Koon being his favorite Jedi is a great example of one of the strengths of Dave. Yeah, Gwen meant to mention Meber. Yeah, bring back Meber. Meber, I've seen this talked about with Skeleton Crew, but Skeleton Crew would be a good spot for Meber. They could pull it off. The way they pulled off that teak, I have faith that they could pull off. They could pull off Meber. Dylan says the little weirdos are some of the best of Star Wars. Meber, Gascon, and Andor season 2. That's what I want. I want that. Tony Gilroy, go reshoot. Do reshoots. All right, so we're about out of here. Breaking news. I was just heading out and I saw this news and I figured why not jump on screen here with y'all and talk about it. And I think we're all in line. This is wild. This is borderline silly, and this is so intriguing. Jeremy Allen White as Rotta the Huttlet. Well, Rotta the Hutt. I bet he doesn't want to be called a Hutt lit. He wants to be a Hutt. Maybe that's part of the humor. Um, and him and Grogu becoming best buds. I could see this. Grogu and Rotta hanging out together. I like this idea. The more we think about it. Wild and crazy stuff. Yes, Azerbaijan, sir. PLD projects. Maybe Rodden took over Dex's Diner. Oh, all right. I gotta get going here. But final questions. If you got questions, super chats, on that stuff, get it in now before I sign out. PLD is here. Paul Denuzzo. Check out his show with Maddie Gunner over there. Holy Stokes. Maybe Rodden took over Dex's Diner. No, I don't want that. How dare you? Dex Jr. There's a Dex Jr. and we're gonna get him, and we're gonna get that story. In fact, I'm gonna pitch that story to Lucasfilm right now. I'm gonna get on the phone, beep up, boop, 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 call some folks, and let's make that happen. Sneaking to Rada and Grogu sneaking in places eating eggs they shouldn't be, says JMB. Dylan says love the art above you. Oh, thanks. This is this I got from Rise of Skywalker screening. One of the screens I went. This is art from Nan Lawson. Her name's Nan Lawson. Check it out. And up there is a picture of me and Dexter in his diner, designed by the wonderful Brian Ward. There we go. Okay, I'm still here. We got another phone call. If you've hung out with me on these lives, these vertical lives, if I get a phone call, the whole stream goes down. The whole stream goes down. But I stay here. So if you're watching a little bit later, thanks for hanging out. If you were live, if you're watching later, leave a comment down below about the best way to use Rotta the Hutt in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And where do you want to see Rotta going? Is he the true villain? Are we all worried about Thrawn? Or should we be worried about Rotta? You let us know. Big news show tomorrow. We got the Skeleton Crew breakdown, episode 3. Our second episode of Skeleton Crew Report will be on Wednesday morning. Joseph returns for that. And then on Friday, very special supersized edition of Star Wars Ranked. Me, Jen Landa, and Molly Damon ranking our favorite Star Wars prequel outfits. So there you go. That's it. We'll see you next time. What news can we manifest here on Force Center? Bye.